Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
Welcome back to the show. Today on the bonus show, we'll be talking about the possibility of two suns in the Earth's sky. We'll talk about the peace talks that have allegedly completely died in the Middle East, and also the suicide bomber at the Russian airport. Plenty more. DavidPakman.com/membership. Make sure you're getting the bonus show. Finally, I can say, Lewis, that I support and stand behind and am proud of something Barack Obama is proposing. At least that's what I thought until I did even the slightest bit of research into this new proposed decrease in war spending, and then realized there is a certain level of bamboozling going on. What I mean is this. We've been talking for a while about Republicans and Democrats being unwilling to reduce military spending, but also defense spending, so-called national security spending. By many measures, it has simply been off the table, according to a number of politicians. Opportunities to close bases have not been taken, even at the recommendation of politicians on both sides, not senators and congressmen, however. So I heard this news that Barack Obama is going to shrink war spending over 25% next year, and the headline in a lot of articles says, this is a $42 billion cut from the military-industrial complex. And I said, oh, I'm going to look into that. The most cursory research shows the reason costs will go down is, yeah, we're drawing down in Iraq, we're drawing down in Afghanistan. Direct costs with those operations are going to be decreased. Some say, well, that's completely obvious. We're drawing down. That's not actual defense spending cuts, which we've been discussing. And effectively enough, I looked into it. There is no actual real cutting. We're just not going to be in as much of a war as we have been, and that's going to reduce some
less
spending.
troops overseas, less spending.
That's exactly right. And the idea that we just can't ever reduce the force of active military troops significantly is bogus. Colin Powell said just the other day, I watched an interview on, I think it was with Candy Crowley on CNN. He said, you know what? After the Cold War, there was a reduction of 500,000 troops. And thinking back to our interview with Navy Chaplain Gordon Klingenschmidt, that sounds perfect because he said so many people are going to leave the military because gay people can now be in the military openly.
He said one out of four,
He
right?
said we were going to lose 500,000 troops anyway, so it might work out perfectly. But in all seriousness, the proposed $117 billion for fiscal year 2012 is going to be the lowest expenditure for wars since fiscal 2005. 2005, we were in full-scale wars then. I don't think it's any surprise that we're going to get back down to that level. And I say, really, it's time to start shutting down some bases. If the argument is more unemployment, since when do Republicans support having the government provide unnecessary jobs anyway? I thought that was the problem. You're telling me all of the worldwide troops at bases are absolutely necessary jobs? And if it's a safety issue, I can't help you. If you really think shutting down, for example, 10 of the 50 army bases in Germany, I'm not even saying eliminate all of them. I'm not even saying only keep 10 bases in Germany. Let's just go from 50 to 40. If you really believe that that's going to make the United States unsafe, I probably can't convince you because it defies logic to believe that.
I think we need less bases overall, too, but I think it's going to be hard to convince the government that we need less of a presence in any foreign country.
You know what? I don't actually think that politicians believe we will be at risk of attacks if we close some more bases. I really don't think they believe that. We're hearing that from the people they are parroting those talking points to. Individuals say, oh, it's not, we're going to be unsafe, we'll be at risk. I don't think most politicians really believe that. They just know their base will believe it. And honestly, you're right, Lewis. It's going to be a hard sell if we can't get off the war economy and the war mindset. I mean, war has become just another line item. It's assumed we have education, which, by the way, a lot of Republicans want to cut. We have Amtrak, which a lot of Republicans want to cut. And we have war. War is a line item. It's something that it's just part of what the country does. And if that's not changed, I mean, Italy, do we need 2 bases in Italy? Maybe we just have 1. In Kosovo, do we need 3 bases? Maybe we just have 2.
Well, look at it this way. Not that I have a stance on this, but we have the bases in these countries.
Right.
And if we were to close them down, it's not like we can just be like, oh, hey, we're going to open up another one here in Italy. They'd quash it.
Why do we need another one in Italy?
We don't. I'm just saying.
We need less.
These bases exist. I don't think we're going to be able to create any new bases in any European country, Asian country, what have you, unless it's a hostile takeover.
Fine, then let's keep 40 bases in Germany instead of 50, and we're gonna commit to not opening up another 10 in the future. I mean, the Marines could close 5 in Japan. The ones 50 in Germany is just Army. There's other Marine bases, Navy, Air Force. Do we need Air Force bases in Portugal, Singapore, Philippines, Spain, Qatar, and 6 in the United Kingdom? Or could we maybe go with just, I don't know, Portugal, Spain, and 3 Air Force bases in the United Kingdom? Maybe that's enough.
Yeah, I think we can get rid of them. But back to advertising the $42 billion cut.
Right.
I mean, do you think that's just being advertised for political posturing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The idea here is, and again, I don't know that it won't backfire. Because even though these are not real defense cuts, not substantive long-term defense cuts,
he already advertised the troop withdrawal.
That's exactly right.
Right.
So I believe that this way of presenting it, people who look into it are going to realize this is not really a cut to the military-industrial complex and the obsession with the war economy that we have. This is just we're involved in a little bit less war in fiscal year 2012. That's all it is. But Republicans will still use this against Barack Obama. So again, unless this is very carefully crafted to the benefit of the Obama administration, it in and of itself could be unsavory to both sides and beneficial to Republicans in the end.